Maxwell on match day part 2, and we are going to talk about a bunch of unfortunate events which was just all summarised by that ginger wizard who proves once again that you can never count the redheads out. 1 minute they're injured, next minute they're back on the field putting the ball into the bottom corner, next minute they're taking home Hermione Granger when you never seen that coming. I'm joking, everyone's seen it coming. Either way, who's going to count them out? Who's going to count out Manchester City now? Which may seem like a far-fetched proposal here, but this Manchester City team with Kevin De Bruyne look efficient. Something I never thought I would say. Something I never thought would come out my mouth when Pellegrini has ran this team into the dirt, thrown the toys out the pram ever since Pep Guardiola get put in that pole position. But nonetheless, this Man City team look interesting. So our categories for this, of course, are you a De Bruyne or are you Di Michelis? I'm just going to rub further salt into Di Michelis' wounds because he has just made me contemplate whether or not I should have continued to pursue professional football if that man was able to don the Manchester City jersey in his latter years. I digress. Let's talk about the superior in De Bruyne. This Belgian has proven time and time again that one player makes such a crucial difference in a footballing team. Manchester City, in a poor run of form, falling away from the Premier League title, bring him back in perfect fashion. They don't bring him in to play 90 minutes straight away. They kind of mature him back in. He has immediate effect when he plays against PSG in the first leg, and the same thing happens again. He, for me, is the standout figure in this leg, standout figure across both games, and shows time and time again why world class will get you to the next level. Yes, I am alluring to an insult that I'm going to throw towards PSG as we move forward to our Di Michelis' category. So, talking about his goal, before I get into that, Di Michelis gets the ball onto that wicked right foot. He's devastating coming from the right-hand side, cutting inside using his left foot or using his right foot to drill it across goal as he did in the first leg. But coming in from the left-hand side, just as devastating as he holds down the right-hand trigger, bends it into the corner, and Manchester City wheel away in delight, and they actually look comfortable towards the end. I will touch on Zlatan being offside a lot in this game. I'll also touch on how efficient Manchester City are, and the other person who's firmly within the De Bruyne category that I thought would never make it into that. But let's talk about our Di Michelis'. Adding insult to injury, Cavani. Doesn't like to be categorized with an Argentinian, but you are firmly within that category. And no, not solely because I jump on the bandwagon of Cavani being overrated, because I've said he's overrated. And people will hit me with the facts of, yes, but he's done this in Serie A. I don't care. I only care about what I can see in front of me now. I watch enough Ligue 1 this year to understand that that standard suits Cavani. But what happens when PSG fall flat on their very rich face for the second consecutive year in the Champions League? Because they don't have enough firepower up top. They don't have enough world-class quality to put the ball in the back of the net. And don't tell me they didn't have enough chances. Look what happened with Cavani's clear example. 5 minutes after Kevin De Bruyne scored in the opposite end, he goes through one-on-one. There's a hole in Manchester City's imperfect defence. And what does his touch do? That this myth of a touch that is almost like a Freddie Adu of all touches, like where did it go? What is all this prestigiousness around this touch? Takes him away from goal, allows Joe Hart to narrow the angle and just say, thanks mate, cheers for coming. The same thing that happened against Real Madrid. We've seen so many chances earlier on Cavani. Same thing that happened against Barcelona last year where they're given countless opportunities to bring themselves back into the tie. But no. Touch lets him down. And not just him. Laurent Blanc is within the Di Michelis category, right? And this may surprise some people. I was going to put Zlatan in there, but Zlatan, I can't put Zlatan in categories. He'll find me. He'll do some stuff to me that I won't find pleasant. So he's staying without that category. But looking at Laurent Blanc, he's relied on this team that's dominated Ligue 1. I don't care what you say about that competition. That's not in comparison to Champions League latter stages. That's easy competition in comparison to this. Why are they falling flat to Barcelona? Why are they falling flat to Manchester City that last year people would have laughed if you said this would happen? Because people think that PSG, because they dominate that league and with such significance, that they're going to be that team that's going to get past that final hurdle and get to the semis and in the final. No, because they rely on this firepower that is not of adequate quality when it comes to this stage. Yes, Zlatan can bang them in, week out in La Liga, and so can Cavani. And Zlatan can do it in the previous leg against Chelsea. But it's when you come to world-class opposition, and I'm not saying Manchester City are world-class, this kind of just adds more proof to my point, is that they don't have the power to get to that final stage. They don't have a Suarez, or even in this situation, it wasn't an Aguero, which I thought should have been there because he missed a penalty kick. But it was a De Bruyne, or in Bayern Munich situation, a Lewandowski or a Cristiano Ronaldo. That clinical finishing in front of goal that just gets you over that line, man. That's what they need. That's their missing piece. So they have now become, once again, the world's richest bridesmaid who just cannot seem to get to that stage of becoming the bride. So he is in my Demichelis category. And of course, concluding our De Bruyne category, I never thought I would say this in my many a year talking world football for 280 Sports. It's Pellegrini. The whole combination of Fernando and Fernandinho playing together rather than one replacing the other, which he's been doing now, and it reaped its rewards in this game. They nullified space well. They didn't dive in as much. They still have that problem. But I'm wondering, where does Yaya Toure fit into this team? Because Yaya Toure's work ethic, for me, is not the same as what it has been. There's more gaps when you see him play. Fernando and Fernandinho patrol. They are two very aggressive, nitpicky patrollers in there who just, I think I made up that word, just dive into tackles, but at times they are what you need to patrol that area. They caused problems for Rabiot in there. They caused problems for Cavani when he dropped deep. They caused problems for Zlatan when he wanted to drop deep. They're two very efficient garbage men, or bin men as we call them, garbage men in America, who just clean up, and then in time and time again, like we've seen in the last leg, they might come up with a goal. So I think that it's very good management to have Pellegrini hold Yaya back and play those two in the middle. And then that allows for Silva to roam with De Bruyne, with Navas, who actually looked not bad today as well. Things just were clicking for Manchester City. So he has to be in that category for me. In this one instance, let's not go over the top. He's not firmly within the Ginger Snapper's grasp as of yet. But I thought it was a good decision for him, and they reaped the rewards. Manchester City emerged to the semi-final. Who would have thunk it in the Champions League? Make sure to hit me in the comment section below what you think of this game, what you think of my criticisms of the firepower in Paris. All the good stuff on Twitter as well, Francis_Maxwell and TYT Sports. Speak to you soon.